What's up, everyone? We are live at 5 here at Broadway.com. It is Friday, January 25th. I'm Paul Wontorek.
And I'm Beth Stevens.
And over there, we have Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
Okay, who's here today? Do you know how to say his name? I do.
Nassim
Soleimanpour. Of the
It was a
off-Broadway
collaboration.
sensation Nassim. It's named after him. He wrote it. There's a lot to talk about. We're going to get to him, but first, today's top 5.
There's even more time to visit the choir.
You know what's great? To start a Friday Live at 5 with some good news. And the good news is Choir Boy has extended. It will now run through March 10th. So you have more of a chance to see Terrell Alvin McCraney's play at Manhattan Theater Club. But star Jeremy Pope,
I was going to say.
he's got to leave. He's got to go to Ain't Too Proud. So
Yeah.
he will leave on February 28th, and his understudy, Jonathan Burke, will take over. I'm sure he'll do a wonderful job as well. So you have a little more time to see it.
Cool.
Tradition is happening across the pond.
Fiddler
Tradition,
on the Roof is
tradition.
having another moment. I mean, it's having a lot of moments.
It's never not had a moment.
Well, I mean, we had it
Interesting.
on Broadway a few years ago.
Yes, like
and
we
then the Joel Gray directed Yiddish production.
I like to call it Yidler.
It's coming back. I don't know if I can say that.
I like-
it's
but I
coming
can.
back very soon. And they've been doing it at the Meunier Chocolate Factory, starring Broadway's Judy Kuhn.
Yes, and directed by Trevor Nunn.
Right, and so that's a big hit, and now it's moving to the West End. So
Fabulous.
there's Fiddler everywhere. Fiddler transfers everywhere.
Just Fiddler.
Fiddler everywhere. It's going to go
I
to
feel like
the
Fiddler.
It'll be moving to the newly renovated Playhouse Theater, and previews start March 21st, opening March 27th. And Andy Nyman plays Tevye to Judy Kuhn's Golda, and they will be staying with the production. And additional casting to come. And it ends at the Chocolate Factory, which is a beautiful little theater. It's about as big as this room we're in.
That's true.
On March 9th.
This music truly is unlimited.
Do you remember, Paul, in October how it was Wicked Month?
It was Wicked Month.
And
We
it
talked
felt
a
like it was
lot about-
Wicked Decade because it was a lot of Wicked.
a lot of Wicked.
We're going to talk about Wicked again because they have a 15th anniversary album. Of course, they had that big program on the TV.
It was called Very Wicked Halloween. What was that?
Yes.
Is that right?
Very good.
Okay,
Something
thank
like
you.
Or the 15th anniversary special edition recording will be released on February 8th, so it's coming up. But here's some exciting stuff to know. 19-track set features The Wizard and I, sung by Ariana Grande. I heard a gasp.
It's basically a soundtrack of the special.
What Is This Feeling by Pentatonics. If you watch the special, this is all familiar to you. But yes. And, of course, original stars Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth singing For Good.
Well, that was a tearjerker.
I mean, yeah. So anyway, check it out, February 8th.
Is it on vinyl?
It doesn't
Not
say
yet.
anything
That'll be
about
not
vinyl.
yet, not
yet. Okay.
Nope, that'll happen on the 16th
2 months.
anniversary. Something to look forward to.
And this classic Shakespeare story is getting a new sound.
So this is interesting. There's a new musical. You're clapping.
I'm
for this.
excited
Okay.
about it.
Any fans of Hit Me Baby One More Time?
Obviously.
One More Time. I meant
One
like the
more time,
Broadway show.
honey.
One More Time. The guy who wrote that Britney Spears hit, right? Isn't that what we're talking
Yeah,
about here?
correct.
Okay. We're talking about Max Martin. He has a musical called And Juliet.
It's ampersand Juliet, right?
Oh my God! Is it?
You know, you say
you're
and-
not going to call it ampersand Juliet. It's and
That's what it looks
Juliet.
like. That's what
Beth.
it looks like. I'm writing it for you.
It's and Juliet.
And Juliet.
It'll be at the Manchester Opera House this fall. Hey, didn't Ghost a musical play there? I think it did.
Probably.
And then it's going to go to the West End, the Shaftesbury Theater. And so West End Hamilton star Miriam Teak Lee, I hear she's fantastic. She will star. This is a feminist reimagining of Romeo ampersand Juliet.
I love it. It's like Anne Peggy.
And the musical
but
sees
not.
Juliet
But
getting over Romeo by running off to Paris with Nurse, just Nurse,
Ooh, Nurse.
and her best friends on a whirlwind trip of romance and self. Oh, I can see why you're into
Isn't
this.
that
Okay.
so fun?
Featuring hits like "Baby One More Time," Everybody, Backstreet Boys, right?
Wow.
"Love Me Like You Do," and "I
Yeah.
Can't Feel My Face When I'm With You." Okay, so these are good.
don't have the
I
right
love when
songs.
songs.
Caitlin
We can't
dances
sing
in her
them.
chair.
Original story by David West Reed of Schitt's Creek
Yeah,
fame. People
TV
love Schitt's
show.
Creek. Direction by Luke Shepard of In the Heights over in London. And additional cast to come. All right. Now that I got to the end of that story, I'm excited too.
I'm
Oh,
so
that's
excited.
good. We're all
All right,
excited
let's
now.
do it.
One of our stage favorites has a new screen gig.
We're talking about Jasmine Cephas Jones. of Hamilton fame. She's going to recur on the HBO comedy series Mrs. Fletcher. So this is based on a book by Tom
I'm never the
Perrotta.
guy who read the book, but I read the book.
I read the book too. But
read the book.
I've got to tell you something else about this book. But first, let me just tell you, Tom Perrotta also wrote The Leftovers, which was a huge HBO series. And this is about, it's a coming-of-age story about exploring the impact of social media on the lives of Eve, an empty nest mother, and her college freshman son. Okay, I don't have to tell you who Jasmine is. You know who Jasmine is, right? Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. She joins Catherine Hahn, Jackson White, Casey Wilson, Owen Teague, and Jen Richards. But here, let me tell you something.
Okay.
You read the book, but if you listen to it, it's read by Carrie Coon, and Aaron Tveit is in it.
Ooh.
Just a little tip.
Oh, I know.
While you're waiting for a
Does
series.
he play the son or does he play the other one?
He plays.
Okay,
I don't remember.
just watch it when it's up.
Just
They
watch
still have to
it.
film
It's
it,
good.
right?
It's good, yeah.
It's still a little ways
You know,
down.
obviously it's Friday, so I should
You
get
know
out
what
of
you
here.
don't have to wait for? You don't have to wait to see Nassim
Yeah.
off Broadway. Thank you, Beth. Have a lovely weekend.
Thank you, too.
Hey, Caitlin, why don't you tell us about today's international guest?
Yes. We have Nassim here with us today. Like we said, he is internationally known for his plays, which are amazing. He's the mastermind behind Nassim, which is currently playing off-Broadway at New York City Center Stage 2 as part of the Barrow Street Theater. He is known for his first play, White Rabbit, Red Rabbit. I said it correctly. That was a tongue twister. This marks the American premiere of Nassim. Be sure to follow at NASS Productions on social media to stay up to date on all things Nassim. Please leave all of your questions in the comments down below, and please welcome Nassim and Paul.
Hello, Nassim.
Hello, Paul.
So good to have you.
My pleasure. I'm very happy to meet with you here.
You already had a big off-Broadway hit, and you were not in the country for any of it. Right? Red Rabbit, White Rabbit. I mean, all these famous actors were doing it every night, and a guest star every night, and you were where watching all that happen?
I was in Berlin mainly. It was
Right.
9 months I had to travel. But yeah, hazards of being an Iranian. I've always missed it. That's my life.
Right, that's your life. That's your
Yeah.
life. You are from Iran.
Yes,
And-
apparently.
and let's talk about this. So, you became a playwright. You are a playwright. Your play Nassim is a follow-up, I'll call it that, to Red Rabbit, White Rabbit, and it's a similar concept, which is there's a guest actor every night who shows up. They don't know what they're getting involved in. They agree to be a part of it for some reason because of your very it's a very esteemed thing to do, to be a part of one of your productions. And they show up, and what happens? You just hand them what they're doing.
Well, yeah, I mean, that, as you said, that started with White Rabbit, Red Rabbit. And yes, I couldn't travel at the time, so I had to basically come up with a new format if I wanted to tour. It looked like a message in a bottle. So I basically wrote 40 pages. It's a very simple setup with Rabbit. We just have a table and 2 glasses of water and an envelope, and then the actor opens the play, and the show doesn't have any directors.
Because you originally just intended to perform it yourself? Is that what you mean by you had to come up with an idea to...
No, because originally I wanted to tour, and I had to do military service, and I didn't do that.
So to leave the country, you were supposed to do 2 years.
Yeah, so basically my life seems to be like 2 phases. The first phase, I don't have a passport. That's the Iranian government. And then I get the passport. That's the Western government. They don't give me easily my visa. So, yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, so that is White Rabbit, Red Rabbit.
Yeah.
That is a show which we opened in 2011, 30-something languages. I got lucky. I'm blessed. And then, yeah, we had this beautiful long run here in Broadway, which, as you say, I missed. But in a way, I'm present. I'm a writer. I'm words. I'm not really handsome. You can see that's how you go close the door and start writing. So then it comes Nassim. And Nassim is the similar premise that we cast a new actor now. Of course, there is a fight club now out there. We have, 2,000, 3,000 people who did White Rabbit, Red Rabbit.
Wow.
So touring Nassim is similar. But that's how the show starts, but it's more tricky than this because I'm partially involved.
Yes,
so
I
step
know.
by step,
You're an
we
important part of
realize,
that.
now the crazy Iranian eventually made it, and he's around doing things.
Yeah. And you arrived in New York, now famously, like 24 hours before the first performance, right? And this took many months. It took Kirsten Gillibrand. Was she involved in getting you here?
Yes, yes.
Senator.
Yes.
So this
Thank
is,
you very much. If
this
you're
was a
look-
big. People really had to rally to get you here for this, and you're here. So how does it feel to be here?
Well,
This is your first time?
yes. This is my first time physically in the States.
And you ran right into rehearsal, and
I mean, I'm still jet lagged.
it's been
So November
that was in
was-
December. That was right before the holidays.
Yeah, November was crazy because we did 8 countries in November.
Wow.
And we did 5 languages, including Chinese and Japanese. And I'm partly, performing, and I have to basically know what I'm doing. And then, I needed my passport. Eventually, when they said, okay, we're going to grant him a visa, come to the consulate in Berlin, I was like, sorry, guys, I'm in China. It's just like a bit late. So then basically my agent had to fly with me to Madrid, get my passport,
Wow.
fly back to the consulate, get my visa, fly back to Madrid. So it's already really stressful, and I'm doing shows. I had matinees. And we were like on this flight, and I'm like, okay, so we arrived there. I have a visa, but the security would go for like, nah, go back home. I have, a few months off, and I enjoy Berlin. And we just, suddenly end up like, we're very close to you. This is where I live. We end up in Broadway. This is my accommodation around, I think, like 2 in the morning.
Wow.
And then tomorrow at 8, I go to the theater, and I'm surrounded by people like, give me the set, do this, go on. We do the show. And that's what we're doing now for 2 months.
I love it.
So I'm still like, is it happening? Are we
happening.
doing it?
It's happening.
Is it really Mike Shannon who's doing the show? Oh, hey, Mike, am I daydreaming? So that's exactly the case.
I love
Wow.
it. What does it mean for you? You've seen your work performed all over the world, and like you said, in so many different languages. What does it mean to be in New York? And is it just another country, another stop in the journey, or what does it mean to be?
Well,
here?
it's a very nice question. I will give you the most honest answer. Okay, it started with me. I think I was a bit snobbish. It's like, that's another country, it's another city, but this is New York.
Yeah.
We have lots of talents here. Of course, the format of theater, the finance of theater is different. It's commercial theater, so you have more problems to deal with in a way sometimes if you are like the producer of your own show as well, because I'm the international producer of the show. But in the meantime, to meet with all these people who did Rabbit at the time, when any of those names popped up, I remember like my wife once knocked at I was like taking a shower. I was like, guess who's performing? I was like, what? Ted Mosby from How I Met Your Mother. So it's really nice, of course, to meet with all those guys in person, thank them for what they did with Rabbit. And now to see all these amazing actors who gather in this city,
Yeah.
it's a privilege for me to be paid to sit every night somewhere in the theater and basically see what they can do with the material.
Right.
This is like, it's amazing.
Right. So is this a great show for anyone to do? Like what kind of, any actor, I mean, there's something really exciting about watching an actor out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
I think audiences really love that. Is there a certain kind of performer this is right for, or do you just love to just see a wide array of people? Come to the theater?
I think I think anyone can do a version. I always say like this: what I hope that I design with my plays, I call them like they're like machines. Machine is a certain type of device with a certain type of input, certain type of process, and certain type of output. Printer, let's say, paper, text, or photos, and then we have the result. So you don't give tomatoes to a printer, and get, a president which runs a country. So that was a bit mean. Basically, if we have like, a car, my job is to design the car and it should be safe. So anyone who can drive, you cannot give me someone who cannot read and tell me this guy should do a cold read. That will not work.
Right.
So anyone who can drive the car.
Right.
But of course, if you get like a great Formula One, driver, they would do things that I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know my car can do that.
Right.
So that, of course, and in the meantime, I must say, that's another thing that I really like about this format is that it's very beautiful, talking about all these things, about race, about gender, to have a type of play, which tonight you perform it with a woman who is Chinese, tomorrow you do it with a man who is black,
Right.
young, old, and it works. You know, no gender, no age, no nothing. And yeah, if you're looking at me and you hate me, that's probably not your show. If you think you can bear with me for 17 minutes, I think you could enjoy it.
What do you think the play is about? I mean, it seems like it's
Nassim.
yeah.
I think language is in the core of it. The concept of home. What is home? You know, like being on tour for 200 days last year. It's a good question for me. I'm like, okay, what is home? If that's the apartment that I have in Berlin, I'm not there. I'm not sleeping in that bed. Is it Iran? Is it where my mom is? What is home, basically? And what is this feeling of being homesick? And how is it related to language? And how all those topics, sadly, sometimes can separate us, but beautifully can unify us, you know, in a new home or a new definition of this term.
And your mom in Iran hasn't seen your work. What does she know of what your career and the international influence you have?
Well, my mom married a novelist. There we go. You know, she's cursed. She's like, now I have a son who's a playwright. But yes, that is again like part of the story of this show. So it's in a way, I don't really want to spoil it for you. But yeah, she has never seen. We talk about like, I don't know, 30 something languages that I've performed in, but not Farsi, my mother tongue.
Right.
And my mom has never seen any of my shows live, and she once, like in a very heartbreaking way, complained about it, which we can share with you if you see the show. And then probably this whole thing is a way to solve this problem, hopefully.
So you have amazing stars coming in every night. Who has been really exciting to meet? And do you interact with them much before the show?
No. That's
nothing.
So I don't even. Most of them, they don't even know. Like they know I'm in New York. It's very funny when we talk after the show. They're like, I didn't know. Sometimes they deny during the show. They're like, you know, there's a moment that it's like eureka moment. They're like, okay, Nassim is here, and sometimes they deny. It's like, it's not him. He doesn't have a passport because they did Rabbit. And I'm like, that's the story of Rabbit. And I just like have to, in my way, I use a Sharpie, you know. I write to them. I'm like, this is me. Trust me. It's me. Do you want me to show you my passport? So yes, we don't say hello before the show. I have to like arrive a bit earlier. If you're an actor who's going to do it, of course, you're not listening to me. You spoiled it for yourself. That's the rule. They all know that. But yes, I have to go earlier to my room. I have to hide so that we don't bump into each other.
I love it.
And in the middle of the show, we basically meet, not on stage, somewhere in the theater.
I love it.
And we share it with you as the audience.
I love it. Do you have more shows up in your brain that you're working on?
Yeah. I know that I'm writing. I have to, and I'm happy that I'm writing a radio play for Audible.
Cool.
So that is, yes, we're hoping to finalize a draft and then probably record it next December. And we're talking like about a new play with somewhere in London. I cannot say yet because it's not announced, with the same director of this show. So that probably would be a very big show if we survive in our R&Ds. We would quit. We go back to Berlin.
How were you
Drink some
exposed?
beers.
How were you exposed to theater as a kid?
Well, as I said, like a dad who's a novelist, a mom who's a painter. So most of the books were spoiled to me. So the idea of being a writer, not like a playwright, mainly like writer, immediately was like, I don't want to be Uncle That or Auntie This. So I wrote like some poems and everything. And then, they took me to the theater. And I think like everyone else, most people probably, the magic of theater was the thing that probably, you know, got me involved. And I always felt like, maybe I really like when it's live. What's happening here, you know? I can just basically decide, do I look at this camera, say like, hello, is there a camera here? Could I do something else there? Hello, you know? And it's live. And that is what I like.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of, that's probably why we do shows without any rehearsals. We want it to be as fresh as a fresh bread. So that, and I think people accept mistakes and they forgive and they root for performers in such a
Well, tonight you're going to be hiding from Molly Bernard, who is on Younger, and tomorrow you'll be hiding from Amanda Quaid, Katie Finneran. She's really fun. Now, do you know these people's careers? Do you do research on them before?
Well, some of them I know.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you're performing with TV personalities or people who did my old shows. I know.
Of course.
But I try not to Google, but I keep asking people. Like, and I go, backstage, my PSM is there. It's like, do you know any of them? She's like, I work with her. I was like, her? What's her name? Do you know her? Do you know him? And I try, to get more personal. Like, he's fun. He is this.
Right.
She is this.
Yeah.
And then, of course, later I have time to Google. I talk with them. It's best to see them, I don't, First, information. Just tell them, what do you do? And sometimes you're stupid because you're talking to a very famous actor. So actually, what do you do? And he's like, dude, I've been doing this TV series since you were a kid.
I love that. That's so great. Just everyone's on the same level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just two
Yeah.
artists getting together.
Exactly.
Katie Finneran is very funny, and she's a great singer too. I just want to throw that out there.
Okay, well, ask me to sing.
Michael Cerveris is a Tony winner. He's going to be there this weekend. Henry Stram. You have to check out the site. Michael Urie, Kate Walsh, Tatiana Maslany. These are fantastic people you have. People want to do this with you.
Well, yeah, people are very, very nice to me. What can I say? Now I'm blushing.
But also, actors want to have fun, and they want to take risks, and they want to.
Yeah,
on the edge a
I
little
think
bit.
it makes it probably easier for everyone. You just show up 2 hours before a show and you do a show, and hopefully when we prove that it's working, you're not supposed to be embarrassed. It's easier for the producers to get all these big names when they're busy with rehearsals, shootings, and things like that. And as you say, they're amazing people. It's not like only because he's handsome or she's beautiful she became someone. They're very talented people who know that they can do it, on spot. And God, I can tell you, they are very amazing actors. They're super. I say they're like sometimes human plus, something more than a human. Yeah.
How's Berlin? I want to go to Berlin. That's one of my places I really want to go.
Well, I used to complain that Berlin is cold. I take it back. New York beats Berlin. Berlin is lovely. I miss it. Yeah.
Nice. I want to go there. Hey, Caitlin, what are the people online saying?
Yes. So John wants to know that what even inspired you to want to do things like Nassim and Rabbit, where the actors don't know what they're getting themselves into until they're actually there?
Well, it started honestly with Rabbit. So at the time, I didn't know that it's a format that I will keep exploring. And 3 things came together for me to write Rabbit. One was the situation that I didn't have a passport and I wanted to tour internationally. Secondly was like my love with rehearsals. This is like, I ask everyone to do cold reads. I'm horrible. Give me anything, I read whatever I want. And you're like, why did you keep saying yellow? There's no yellow on the whole page, So I have some problems with my eyes. And then thirdly was like a nightmare that I had, which is part of Rabbit. I was like, I'm not any suicidal, as you can see, but I was basically committing suicide on stage. Whoa. So then I wrote Rabbit, and I realized, wait, there's more into this format, because I could see it again and again. And people, shared drafts with me, and we talked. And I think I got obsessed with playing around with cold reads.
Is there anyone from the original New York run of Rabbit that you were like, I really wish I could have seen that person?
Oh.
Anyone that you were really like at home going, I can't believe that person's doing my work right now?
Well, I honestly would say I was very excited about most of the names, but I was shy to be here. It was Obama. It was easier to get me here,
Right.
So I had a shot, and I very kindly wanted me to come, and I found excuse. I was busy.
Could have come during the.
It was very easier to get me to here.
Before I managed ban. Travel ban. #travel ban.
Yeah. I'm a cockroach. I'm an Iranian. I even survived the ban. I'm here thanks to the lovely producers.
Yes.
But it was easier. That is for sure. And I decided I was not really needed. And I kept saying it's extra costs, and everyone was like, this is off Broadway. We have enough money to get you here. But I was a bit shy. I was like, what is the point that I show up and I take photos with Whoopi Goldbergs? I look like a, dummy. It's I just read the script. Wow. There's no need for me to be around.
Interesting. Yeah. So there's a shy side to you.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm shy, but I promise you I am. 2 things that you don't see about me is that I'm shy and I'm hairy. And you don't want me to prove them.
That's what's underneath. Good to know.
So
we were
funny.
wondering.
Oh gosh, we can. Let's do one more question. And Megan just asked this. She said, "Because you're shy, how does it feel to have been traveling for 200 years and have your
200 years,
200 days?
Years? Are you that old? You look fantastic.
You look great for 200 years. 200 days. My apologies. And have your work in so many different languages.
Well, I think performing was never my thing. I know people are kind. They come and see Rabbit, Nassim.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know, maybe they say like, you're doing fine. But I remember it was always the second drink, guys, okay? It was like, I had to finish a draft. I didn't. I was talking with my director. It was like, okay. And then I was like, and then the actor comes and finds me somewhere backstage. Great. So we share it with you. We have cameras. Yes. And then I was like, and then I give them tea because I didn't have any idea. It's not like, that's you. You just keep giving everyone tea. Then I was like, we go on stage together. And he was yes. And I was no. He was yes. So I got trapped in my own machine. It tells you how stupid I might be as a designer. But anyway, you get used to it. So yes, on stage I feel at home. This is my home. The concept of the show is home. So it's like you're my guest, so I'm there to serve you and we can enjoy. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Doesn't it sound fun, Nassim? I want to go check out Nassim. I can't wait. Nassim Soleimanpour, Nassim is playing at City Center at stage 2, which is like under City Center. It's a really cool theater. And you're there through April, aren't you? Or
April 20th.
Yes. Guest stars, different guest stars every night. It's like a really cool New York or international experience, but it's a real theatrical. People love watching actors not knowing what they were to do. I mean, come on, is there anything more fun than that? So, and this guy, you're a lot of fun. I enjoy you.
Thank you very much.
You can come by more often. Hey, Caitlin, why don't you take us out?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are live at 5 every single day on Facebook. You can listen to us in a podcast form by searching for hashtag live at 5 and hitting that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in on Monday when we talk to Carmen Cusack of Call Me Madam.